Hey everyone out there, welcome back to another episode of Uncensored Solar TV, brought to you by my amazing and incredible team here at Solar Wolf Energy. And I want to talk to you guys today about your water heater and what type you have, if it's efficient, what to watch out for, and some things in the water heater, industry that may or may not be worth it. So let's dive into the water heater. If you have one, you may have a tankless system. I'll see a lot of houses today are going with a high efficiency, it's a very high amperage, instant water heater system. These are a little pricey. These are pretty good, pretty good fix though if you're confined on space. So most of these are wall hung units. They have an igniter inside. If they're gas, if they're electric, they draw a serious amount of power. But you have a water feed in one side and an out the other. It has an exchange in the unit that heats the water up super, super hot, super, super fast. And as the water flows in, it comes out heated. It's almost a continuous supply of hot water, almost endless. Pretty good system. These are getting more and more efficient, and it's something you should consider if you're going to build or renovate your home. Now, for those of you who have a traditional water heater, it might be like a 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 100 gallon water heater. I myself I have 3 water heaters for my house. I have really high efficient electric ones, as you can imagine, because solar energy, right? But I think these are a great way to go if you are thinking about solar or already have solar, and you're essentially letting the sun pay for your electric, your hot water. I think it's a great alternative. It's something that everybody should look at. And if you're one of the folks with a gas one, these are really efficient systems. But again, you don't get any benefit if you put the solar on your house. There's no benefit to you for that. It may be worth converting if you have a gas water heater to an electric if you're going to do solar. Something to think about as well. You can lower your electric bill. You can lower your gas bill in this case, which we have a calculated, and again, this is kind of like a ballpark estimate, but it's going to cost you between about $13 to $16 per person a month for your hot water. Gas, electricity rates obviously vary depending, but on average, as a national, it's about 13 to 16 bucks per person. So let's call it 15. You have a family of 4, it's about $60 a month in your electric bill if you have an electric hot water heater. Something to think about, again, when you go solar. So the another issue I want to bring up with water heaters is some of these water heaters, some of these companies are selling these things for $7,000 to $10,000 for a water heater. They finance it 0 down. Folks, if you need a water heater and you don't have the $700 or $800, you may need to buy the unit or have a plumber come out and swap it out for just a regular, cheap, generic water heater. If it's $1,000, don't get suckered into buying a $5,000 one because they can finance it. I would advise against that. You're paying interest, you're paying dealer fees and some other things. You're paying inflated charges, most likely a commission to a salesperson. These are all things you don't need to pay for. Keep in mind, when you pay for a commission on a financed water heater, let's say it's for 10 years, that water heater might only last you 7 or 8. Some of the electronics and some of these new gadgets and some of these water heaters haven't been out there long enough to really make a bet on financing this thing for 10 years. And the interest you're going to pay on this is probably pretty high. So I would advise against it and seek alternate routes if you can to actually pay for a generic water heater. Most water heaters made today, even the cheaper ones, are going to last you, like I said, about 5-8 years at a minimum, but most likely, depending on the water type situation you have in your home, hard water, things like that, they'll last you usually at a minimum of 8 up to 15 years. Could be longer. Again, depends on the situation. You want to, if you're in the market for a water heater, what you really want to look for right now too is make sure the inside cylinder, the container, is stainless. That should be a given. It should be pretty obvious as to why. One of the things I would advise against, and I would never do, is for these companies that come and wrap your water heater. I want you to, if you can, go to your house, go into your basement, your closet, your mechanical room, whatever, wherever your water heater is, touch the outside of it. Now your water temperature inside might be 112, 115, 120 degrees, whatever you have it set at. But I want you to touch the outside of the water heater. It's not hot, it's not even warm, it's just room temperature. So for a company to come in and sell you on some kind of efficiency level of, we're gonna wrap your water heater, make it more efficient. The problem is, these companies usually bulk this with some other home-saving tips, like we're going to change out all your light bulbs to LEDs. We're going to wrap your water heater. So there's no real way for you to pinpoint that specific cost to see if it worked or not. I'm telling you right now, don't do it. You don't need to do it. It's a crock of shit. You don't need to wrap your water heater. You don't. If you need to wrap your water heater, if you can feel it and it's really hot, it's failing already. The insulation that the factory puts on the inside of it is probably gone. Mice get in there sometimes and eat it. But the point is that's a waste of money. Do not get suckered into that. But hey, don't worry. We'll finance it, right? We're going to finance you a water heater. It's a super high efficiency, and we're going to wrap it for you. And it's $7,000. Don't do this, folks. Please, I implore you. Do some research. Call some plumbers. Stay away, perhaps, maybe from some of these energy companies that are trying to conserve for you because it's in your best interest to wrap your water heater. Call some plumbers, get their opinions, and see what they think. I'd be willing to bet they're going to be more siding with my side of what I'm saying here than the energy conservation companies that are trying to sell you this bullshit. So that's what I have for you today. In closing, make sure you get a stainless water heater, the interior tank that holds the actual water. Make sure that's a stainless unit. Spend what you can. Don't get the bottom of the barrel or the bottom water heater. Get a middle of the road. You don't need a super high efficient. You don't. The ROI isn't going to really be there for you. Depending on your electric bill, for the most of you, it's not really going to be there. So middle of the road is just fine, and don't wrap your water heaters, and don't finance it. If you can, seek alternate routes. Thanks for watching. Thanks for stopping by and sending in the questions and all that for all of us here at Solar TV. I appreciate it, and all of my incredible team here, thank you. And to all the amazing followers and viewers, thank you so much. Thanks.